The streets of Atlanta are whispering again, and this time, the whispers have turned into full-blown chaos. Cameras weren't even rolling when the first accusation dropped, but now everyone's talking, from the Frost's boutique to Carly Red's lounge. From Mimi's DMs to Erica Minnis, Liv, everybody's asking the same thing. Did Yandy really fool everyone, including Mendeecees, with the perfect wife act? The woman once praised as love and hip-hop's queen of grace is now caught in the middle of a family storm that's spinning faster than anyone can control. It started smaller, quiet dinner, a few uneasy glances, and one phone that wouldn't stop buzzing. Mendeecees thought it was business. Turns out, it wasn't business at all. And when his sister Tisha found out, she didn't hold back. She said it straight to camera. Yandy been lying to everybody. Not just my brother, everybody. Within hours, social media exploded. Fans who once flooded Yandy's posts with heart emojis and couple goals comments were now flooding them with side-eye emojis and disbelief. This can't be real. One fan tweeted Yandy wouldn't do that, but others weren't so sure. Screenshots started circulating, private messages were leaked, and an old friend came forward with receipts that left everyone gasping. The image Yandy built, the devoted wife, the businesswoman, the peacemaker, suddenly looked like a mask hiding something far darker. And while Mendeecees tried to keep calm, his family had other plans. His mother, Judy, was livid. She told producers off camera, "I told him from day one. I told him this woman's got secrets." As word spread, love and hip-hop fans started piecing the story together like a crime scene. Was Yandy seeing someone behind the scenes? Was she manipulating her public image for fame? Or was this just another twisted rumor to break one of the show's most talked about couples? The tension hit a breaking point when Mendeecees' cousin went live on Instagram, holding back tears as he claimed Yandy had been living two lives, one for the cameras, and one nobody knew about. She made everybody believe she was the one holding it down, he said, but behind closed doors, she was building something else, something none of us saw coming. And just like that, the internet lost its mind. Clips of old Love and Hip Hop episodes resurfaced, fans zooming in on tiny expressions, missed glances, subtle smirks. Every frame now looked suspicious. Even castmates who had once defended Yandy started to distance themselves. "It's crazy," Carly Red posted. "You think you know somebody." Meanwhile, Mendeecees has gone silent, not confirming or denying anything, while his family continues to drop hints that there's more to come. Whatever the truth is, it's not pretty. And the question everyone's asking tonight is simple. If Yandy's entire story was a lie, then who is the real Yandy Smith? Stay tuned, because this drama is about to turn explosive. The chaos started quietly, almost like a whisper that nobody thought would turn into a hurricane. It began at the family gathering, the one that was supposed to be a peaceful reunion. Mendeecees had invited his closest relatives over, hoping to ease the tensions that had been quietly simmering for months. The air was tense, though no one wanted to admit it. Everyone noticed the subtle looks, the way Yandy avoided eye contact, the quick gestures to check her phone whenever someone approached. Tisha, Mendeecees' sister, had been observing quietly from the corner, her eyes narrowing every time Yandy laughed a little too loud or shifted uncomfortably in her seat. She had a gut feeling that something was off, and deep down, she knew this night would unravel everything. The first spark came when an old friend of the family, someone who had seen Yandy in private countless times, casually dropped a comment during dinner. "You know, she's not always as honest as she seems," he said, just loud enough for a few people to hear. The room fell into an awkward silence. Mendeecees glanced at Yandy, who froze mid-smile, her hand hovering over her wine glass. The tension was palpable. Emotions ran high immediately as whispers started circulating around the table. Cousins exchanged nervous glances, aunts and uncles fidgeted, and someone quietly nudged the music to cover the rising murmurs. Fans might not realize it, but in that room, the air itself seemed to crack under the weight of unspoken truths. It was as if the walls themselves were holding their breath, waiting for the storm to break. Soon enough, screenshots began surfacing on social media. These weren't ordinary posts. They were messages from someone claiming to be a close friend of Yandy, sharing private conversations and receipts that nobody expected to see. The internet went into overdrive, fans shocked, confused, some refusing to believe it, others feeling vindicated. The leaks painted a picture of a woman who had carefully curated her image, projecting loyalty and devotion, while allegedly maintaining connections that contradicted everything she had publicly presented. Every post, every picture, every public appearance now seemed suspect. Questions flew from all directions. Did Mendeecees know? How long has she been lying? What about the kids? The speculation grew louder, echoing through the digital streets of social media like wildfire. Inside the house, the drama intensified. Tisha, unable to hold back any longer, confronted Yandy privately. The conversation started civil, almost cautious, but quickly escalated. "I know things," Tisha said, her voice low but firm. "I've seen messages, screenshots, everything. You can't hide from your actions anymore." Yandy tried to deflect, her eyes darting nervously, but the guilt was written all over her face. "I don't know what you're talking about," she murmured, almost too late, realizing that denials wouldn't work here. The exchange drew attention, and soon Mendeecees entered the room. "What's going on?" he asked, confusion and concern mixing in his tone. Tisha turned to him, her face flushed with frustration and anger. "It's time you knew the truth," she said. The emotions in the room were raw, unfiltered, and explosive. It wasn't just a confrontation. It was a revelation, one that would send shockwaves through the family and beyond. Yandy tried to maintain composure, but every word she uttered only dug the hole deeper. She attempted to explain away the screenshots, claiming misunderstandings, miscommunications, but no one was buying it. Cousins who had once admired her poise now whispered among themselves, disbelief and betrayal etched across their faces. Even Mendeecees, the man she had shared her life with on television and in the public eye, struggled to reconcile the woman he thought he knew with the narrative that was unfolding. "All these years, and I didn't see this," he whispered to himself, almost in disbelief. Fans watching from afar, analyzing the unfolding story on social media, felt the intensity. The love they once celebrated now seemed tainted by secrets and lies. The night only got more intense. Tisha, determined to get to the bottom of things, started asking pointed questions about past interactions, messages, and private meetings. Yandy's responses grew defensive, her voice sharp at times, trembling at others. The room became a battlefield of accusations and half-truths. Each family member had a stake in the drama. Some were protective of Mendeecees, others shocked and unsure how to react. One cousin, visibly upset, shouted, "We trusted you. How could you do this to him?" The words hung in the air, heavy and accusatory. The emotional stakes were high. This wasn't just a reality TV plot unfolding, it was real lives. Real trust, real heartbreak, and the consequences were immediate and unforgiving. As the confrontation continued, an unexpected twist emerged. An old business associate of Yandy's entered the discussion, revealing additional claims that suggested her double life wasn't just personal, it had crossed into professional territory too. Deals made, promises broken, alliances formed behind closed doors. Fans watching the story unfold online couldn't keep up. Screenshots, private messages, video clips. Every piece of evidence circulated like a storm, further fueling the frenzy. The family was left divided. Some demanded immediate answers, others tried to contain the chaos, but it was unstoppable. Even Mendeecees' closest friends weighed in, each adding layers to the growing narrative. Emotions ran high, tears were shed, voices were raised, and the tension was almost unbearable. The next day, the fallout hit social media hard. Every post from Yandy was scrutinized, dissected, and debated. Fans flooded the comments with disbelief and outrage. Hashtags trended within hours. The situation escalated so quickly that it felt like the entire city was talking about the drama. Reporters and bloggers began piecing together timelines, interviewing castmates, and digging for more clues. The speculation was relentless, the pressure mounting on everyone involved. Even those who had remained neutral were forced to pick sides, leaving alliances fractured and loyalties tested. The story had grown beyond a simple family dispute. It had become a public spectacle, with the family's private turmoil now a source of entertainment and debate for thousands. Mendeecees, trying to process everything, found himself torn between defending his family and confronting the truth about Yandy. The internal conflict was immense. How do you reconcile love with betrayal, trust with deceit, loyalty with exposure? Every conversation he had seemed to open another wound. Family members whispered in corners, plotting how to handle the public fallout while managing private emotions. Tisha, fierce and protective, continued to push, determined that the full story be told. The drama had layers upon layers, each revelation leading to more questions, each confrontation spiraling into even greater intensity. Fans watching the series unfold online were glued to their screens, commenting, theorizing, and waiting for the next explosive moment. And just when it seemed the night could not get more chaotic, another twist dropped. A video surfaced of a private conversation between Yandy and a former friend, one that contradicted every claim she had made publicly. The family watched, horrified and stunned. Mendeecees could no longer ignore it. Emotions ran wild: rage, hurt, confusion, betrayal, all mingling in one overwhelming wave. The whispers of the night before had turned into screams, the subtle suspicions now undeniable truths. Fans reacted instantly, some siding with the family, others defending Yandy, but the shock factor was undeniable. It was the kind of drama that left people speechless, questioning every past moment, every smile, every interaction they had seen on camera. Nothing would ever feel the same again, and the stage was set for even more revelations that nobody could have predicted. The story was far from over. The night's events had only scratched the surface of Yandy's alleged double life. As messages continued to circulate, more names emerged, more connections were revealed, and the family's unity wavered under the weight of hidden truths. Mendeecees was caught in the crossfire, torn between love, loyalty, and the need for clarity. The tension was unrelenting, and the anticipation for the next confrontation kept fans on edge. Every second seemed charged with the possibility of another bombshell. And the city of Atlanta, along with fans across the country, braced for the next chapter of what had already become an unforgettable saga. The morning after the explosive confrontation brought no relief. In fact, the storm had only gained momentum overnight. Social media was ablaze with screenshots, clips, and heated debates. Hashtags like #YandyDoubleLife and #Mendeecees betrayed were trending nationwide. Fans who had once celebrated the couple were now divided, some expressing shock, others disbelief, and a few defending Yandy fiercely. The internet had become a courtroom, and everyone was a judge. Inside the family, the tension was unbearable. Mendeecees walked through the house, phone in hand, scrolling through comments and messages, each one a reminder of the unraveling trust he had spent years building. Every notification felt like a punch to the gut. He knew that this was more than just a personal betrayal. It had become public, unavoidable, and merciless. Tensions within the family reached a boiling point when Mendeecees' cousin, Daron, decided it was time to speak out publicly. He went live on Instagram, his voice shaky but determined. "People deserve the truth," he said. "We've been holding this back, trying to protect him, trying to protect the family. But the lies can't go on anymore. Yandy has been living two lives, one in front of everyone, and one behind closed doors." The live video immediately went viral, with thousands watching in real time, commenting, sharing, and reacting. The family's private chaos had become a public spectacle, and the pressure on everyone involved was immense. Mendeecees, watching the live feed, felt both anger and heartbreak. The reality he thought he knew was crumbling before his eyes, and the weight of the betrayal was suffocating. Meanwhile, Yandy tried to salvage her image. She posted carefully worded statements on social media, claiming misunderstandings and taking subtle shots at those who twist the truth. But the damage had already been done. Fans dissected every word, every pause, every emoji. Nothing went unnoticed. Commentators on reality TV blogs speculated endlessly. Was she gaslighting the public? Was this a desperate attempt to control the narrative? Each post seemed to dig the hole deeper, and the more she tried to explain, the more the questions multiplied. The family, however, refused to stay silent. Cousins, aunts, uncles, all contributed their voices, painting a picture of a calculated, hidden life that had shocked everyone closest to Mendeecees. Inside the house, the tension turned physical in subtle ways. Arguments flared over small matters, each exchange heavy with unspoken resentment. Mendeecees tried to mediate, but even he couldn't control the emotions swirling around him. Tisha confronted Yandy again, this time in front of other family members. "How many lies does it take before you're done hiding?" she demanded. Yandy's response was defensive, eyes darting, voice shaking. "You don't understand. I never wanted it to get this far," she said. But her words sounded hollow, and the family sensed it. Whispers spread like wildfire. Siblings discussed what they knew, in hushed tones, trying to make sense of a story that was becoming increasingly impossible to ignore. The night's earlier revelations had only been the tip of the iceberg. Fans online noticed something interesting. Old clips resurfaced showing interactions between Yandy and people she supposedly wasn't close to anymore. Every laugh, every text, every behind-the-scenes moment was now analyzed for hidden meaning. The term double life became the focus of conversations, comments, and videos. Even castmates from Love and Hip Hop weighed in, sharing vague posts that suggested they too had sensed something off over the years. The drama was spreading beyond the family, engulfing the show's community and creating a frenzy that would take weeks to settle. The pressure on Yandy and Mendeecees was relentless, and the media attention only amplified the emotional intensity. Amid all this, an unexpected figure entered the scene. A former associate of Yandy's who claimed to have first-hand knowledge of business dealings that contradicted what was publicly known. They released documents, emails, and private messages suggesting a pattern of deception that extended beyond personal relationships. The family was left reeling. Mendeecees' father, usually calm and reserved, expressed his outrage, questioning how anyone could betray trust so completely. The words "fans are shocked" and "the family was left divided" became literal descriptions of reality, not just phrases used by media outlets. The situation was spiraling, and no one could predict where it would go next. The emotional toll on Mendeecees was visible. Friends noticed he became withdrawn, often sitting silently while the family discussed strategies, statements, and potential next steps. The internal conflict was overwhelming. Loyalty to Yandy versus the undeniable evidence of deception. Love versus betrayal. Hope versus the reality of a crumbling trust. Tisha, relentless as ever, continued to pressure for full transparency. She demanded answers, not just from Yandy, but also from anyone who might have been complicit in concealing the truth. Each day brought new revelations. Each revelation sparked fresh conflict. And the family's unity continued to fracture under the strain. Then came another twist. A leaked video of a private argument between Yandy and a friend revealed details that even the family hadn't known. The argument was intense, raw, and full of veiled admissions that confirmed suspicions of a hidden life. Mendeecees, finally seeing the footage, felt a mixture of anger, disbelief, and heartbreak. The betrayal was undeniable. Fans reacted immediately, sharing clips, posting theories, and demanding answers. The narrative had shifted from speculation to documented proof, and the public appetite for drama was insatiable. The family, meanwhile, prepared for what they knew would be an even bigger confrontation. Realizing that the story was far from over, tensions continued to mount as more friends and acquaintances came forward with stories that corroborated the family's claims. Every revelation added layers to the narrative, each one more shocking than the last. The sense of betrayal was compounded by the realization that many had been kept in the dark. Mendeecees' circle of trust was tested like never before. The emotional stakes were sky high, and the intensity of the drama kept fans and media outlets glued to every update. Every interaction, every word, every glance was analyzed for hidden meaning. The story was no longer just a family scandal. It had become a national conversation, with consequences that would ripple far beyond the walls of the Frost family home. And just when it seemed the situation couldn't escalate further, another bombshell dropped. An anonymous source provided additional evidence, suggesting that Yandy's hidden actions had extended even deeper than previously revealed. The family, already strained to the breaking point, had to confront the possibility that the extent of the deception was far greater than anyone could have imagined. Mendeecees, caught between love, duty, and the undeniable evidence of betrayal, faced an impossible choice. The drama had reached a fever pitch, and fans were left on the edge of their seats, waiting to see how the next chapter would unfold. The city of Atlanta, the show's viewers, and the online community all watched with bated breath, knowing that this was only the beginning of a scandal that would dominate headlines and social media for weeks to come. The revelations kept coming, each one more shocking than the last, and the family's private world seemed to unravel with every passing hour. Mendeecees was now fully aware that the life he thought he shared with Yandy was layered with secrets, carefully hidden from everyone who trusted her. Late one evening, after a long day of heated discussions, confrontations, and social media chaos, he sat alone in the living room, scrolling through evidence that had been sent to him by concerned family members, screenshots, videos, emails. It was a digital avalanche, each piece pushing him further into disbelief. The sense of betrayal was suffocating, but there was also a burning need for clarity, a need to understand the full scope of what had been happening behind closed doors. He knew that he couldn't move forward without uncovering the complete truth, no matter how painful it might be. Tensions within the household reached new heights when Mendeecees' mother, Judy, demanded a formal sit-down with Yandy. The family gathered, some with arms crossed, some with hands trembling, as Judy's voice filled the room. "We need honesty now," she said firmly, eyes locking onto Yandy. "No more lies, no more half-truths. You've been living a double life, and we all deserve to know why." Yandy shifted uncomfortably, her fingers fidgeting, her gaze dropping to the floor. She tried to speak, her voice quivering, but the weight of the room's collective scrutiny silenced her. Each family member, from cousins to aunts, added their voices, recounting suspicions, instances, and inconsistencies they had noticed over the years. The intensity of emotions was nearly unbearable: shock, anger, sadness, disbelief all mixing into a whirlwind of confrontation. The conversation escalated as Tisha spoke up, her tone sharp and unwavering. "You think you can manipulate everyone and get away with it?" she demanded. "We trusted you, we believed in you. And now we find out you've been hiding things that could ruin everything my brother has worked for." Yandy attempted to defend herself, citing misunderstandings, but the words fell flat. The evidence presented by family members was undeniable, and even Mendeecees, who wanted to believe in the woman he loved, felt the cracks in his trust widening with every passing moment. The confrontation became a battle of emotions, with voices rising, tears flowing, and every accusation landing like a hammer against the fragile facade Yandy had built. The public was not far behind in reacting. As clips and screenshots surfaced online, fans debated endlessly. Some expressed support for Yandy, claiming that people should not be judged on partial evidence. Others, however, were merciless, scrutinizing every past post, every social media interaction, and every television appearance for signs of deception. The narrative had shifted dramatically. What once was a beloved couple now became a story of betrayal, secrecy, and hidden agendas. Reality TV commentators dissected each development, speculating on motives, timing, and the potential fallout. The story had crossed over from personal drama to national conversation, with fans and media outlets alike waiting for the next revelation. Amid the chaos, Mendeecees attempted to gather his closest friends and advisors for a private discussion. He needed perspective, support, and guidance on how to navigate the storm. The room was tense, the air thick with unspoken questions. "How do you move forward when the person you trusted most has been hiding a life from you?" he asked quietly, almost rhetorically. Those around him offered varying advice. Some urged forgiveness, others demanded confrontation, while a few recommended stepping back and allowing time to reveal the truth. The conversations were intense, mirroring the public drama and underscoring the emotional complexity of the situation. As the days passed, new information kept emerging. A former business associate of Yandy's revealed private contracts, deals, and communications that suggested a calculated effort to maintain appearances while managing a separate agenda. Each revelation fueled further arguments within the family, and Mendeecees found himself caught between loyalty to Yandy, protecting his family, and managing the growing public scrutiny. Emotions ran high during each interaction, with the family divided into factions, those demanding full exposure, those advocating patience, and those trying to mediate. The tension was constant, an invisible pressure that weighed on everyone in the household. The turning point came when a particularly damning video surfaced online. It showed Yandy in a conversation with a friend, speaking candidly in a way that contradicted everything she had claimed publicly. The footage was undeniable, and the family could no longer ignore the mounting evidence. Mendeecees confronted Yandy directly, his voice steady but edged with emotion. "I need the truth, all of it, nothing left hidden," he said. The room fell silent, the weight of anticipation almost tangible. Yandy hesitated, her eyes glistening, before beginning to speak. Every word, every pause, every tear added to the intensity of the moment. And the family, along with the public watching online, felt the full force of the revelation. Fans reacted immediately, flooding social media with comments, shares, and speculations. The narrative had grown beyond a simple betrayal. It was now a complex web of deceit, loyalty, and emotional turmoil. Every clip, every screenshot, every interaction became part of a larger story that demanded attention. Even castmates from Love and Hip Hop joined the conversation, sharing cryptic messages that hinted they too had sensed something off for years. The drama was consuming the family, the public, and the media alike. Mendeecees in particular was visibly strained, caught between the love he once felt, the betrayal he now faced, and the overwhelming public scrutiny surrounding the scandal. And yet, despite the heartbreak and anger, a small part of him held on to hope that some explanation, some truth, could make sense of the chaos. As the family gathered repeatedly over the next days, discussing strategy, confronting inconsistencies, and revealing hidden communications, the tension never waned. Emotions ran high, voices raised, tears shed, and every moment felt like walking a tightrope between resolution and further devastation. The story was far from over, and every day brought new surprises, new confrontations, and new revelations that kept fans and the family alike on edge. The storm was relentless, and the saga of deception, confrontation, and emotional upheaval was only beginning to reach its peak, with more twists waiting just around the corner. The following days felt like a relentless storm, each hour bringing new revelations that no one in the family could have anticipated. Mendeecees, already reeling from the initial confrontations, now faced a constant barrage of information texts, emails, and leaked social media posts that painted a picture far more complicated than he had imagined. Each message seemed to contradict the image he had believed in, and the emotional weight of the unfolding drama was crushing. He spent hours in his home office, reviewing evidence, replaying videos, reading messages, and trying to piece together the timeline of what had truly been happening behind closed doors. The deeper he delved, the more he realized how extensive Yandy's double life might have been. It wasn't just a series of isolated incidents. It appeared systematic, deliberate, and meticulously concealed. Tensions within the household intensified as family members became increasingly vocal. Aunts, uncles, and cousins debated loudly over the authenticity of the claims, some fiercely defending Mendeecees while others demanded answers from Yandy. Tisha emerged as the most forceful voice, refusing to let the matter rest until the entire story was exposed. Her confrontations with Yandy grew heated, often spilling into public spaces around the house where others could witness. "How many more lies are we going to uncover before you admit it?" she shouted one afternoon, her frustration palpable. Yandy's response was hesitant, defensive, and occasionally teary, but each attempt at explanation seemed only to further ignite the fire. The family was left divided, their unity tested by the relentless pressure of betrayal and secrecy. Social media amplified every development. Fans who had once idolized the couple began to dissect every previous episode of Love and Hip Hop, hunting for hidden cues, subtle interactions, and missed expressions. Forums buzzed with theories. Hashtags like #YandyExposed and #Mendeecees betrayal skyrocketed, and snippets of family confrontations went viral. Even those who were casual viewers of the show became invested, adding layers of public scrutiny to an already intense private situation. The internet had effectively turned the family's private turmoil into a public spectacle, with every comment, share, and meme feeding the ongoing narrative of deception. Unexpectedly, a former business partner of Yandy's entered the conversation, providing documentation that suggested discrepancies in her professional dealings. Contracts, emails, and private communications surfaced, indicating that the duplicity may not have been limited to personal relationships. The family was stunned. What had initially seemed like emotional betrayal now appeared to include financial and professional manipulation. Mendeecees' father expressed outrage, his voice shaking as he addressed the room. "This goes beyond lies. It's about trust, integrity, and respect. How could anyone be so calculated?" The intensity in the household mirrored the public frenzy, and every family meeting seemed to spiral into emotional chaos. Mendeecees struggled to process the mounting evidence. He vacillated between disbelief, anger, and heartbreak, trying to reconcile the woman he loved with the emerging narrative of deception. Late nights were spent in silent reflection, reviewing every memory, every moment, and every interaction he had shared with Yandy. The sense of betrayal was overwhelming, yet he couldn't completely sever the emotional bond. He remained determined to uncover the full story, knowing that only transparency could bring clarity, however painful it might be. His internal struggle was mirrored in the public sphere, where fans debated endlessly, some urging forgiveness, others calling for complete exposure. Another dramatic moment erupted when a leaked video showed Yandy speaking candidly with a friend, revealing intentions and admissions that contradicted everything she had previously claimed. The family watched in stunned silence as the evidence unfolded before their eyes. Mendeecees confronted her directly, demanding honesty. "I need the complete truth," he said, voice steady but edged with hurt. Yandy paused, tears streaming, before attempting to explain. Each word she spoke added tension to the room, and every family member hung on her responses, knowing that the next revelation could shift alliances and emotional loyalties once again. The atmosphere was charged, with raw emotions simmering beneath the surface. Fans online reacted instantly. Clips of confrontations, screenshots of messages, and viral moments from social media spread like wildfire. Debates intensified, viewers theorized, and every new detail reignited discussions. Reality TV commentators speculated endlessly, analyzing motives, timing, and potential outcomes. What had begun as a private family drama had evolved into a national conversation, engulfing the cast, the family, and the fanbase. Mendeecees' struggle to navigate the chaos became emblematic of a broader narrative. The collision of personal betrayal with public scrutiny, loyalty challenged by exposure, and the complexity of human relationships magnified under the spotlight of fame. Amidst the chaos, Tisha remained a relentless force. She pressed for further evidence, questioned inconsistencies, and demanded that the entire story be told. Her confrontations with Yandy became increasingly public, drawing in other family members and friends as witnesses. Emotions surged, voices rose, and the atmosphere teetered on the edge of confrontation at all times. Mendeecees, caught between his desire for truth and his enduring emotional connection, found himself navigating a labyrinth of deception, loyalty, and heartbreak. The intensity of the situation was palpable, and the emotional stakes grew higher with every passing day. As the saga continued, another revelation emerged. A close friend of Yandy's released private messages that indicated deliberate efforts to maintain a public image while concealing personal relationships. The family, already strained, now faced the realization that the duplicity may have been deeper and more intricate than initially understood. Fans online dissected every post, every gesture, and every past interaction for clues, fueling the frenzy and prolonging the emotional turmoil. The storm showed no signs of abating. Each new revelation added layers of complexity, drawing the family further into a whirlwind of conflict, exposure, and emotional reckoning. The following week brought even more upheaval. Mendeecees' family arranged a sit-down with legal counsel to discuss how to manage the public exposure and protect their interests. Tensions were high, the conversation charged with emotion. Every decision carried consequences, and the family's unity was continually tested. The sense of betrayal was omnipresent, yet a determination to uncover the full truth persisted. The stakes were immense, not only emotionally but also socially and professionally, as the family faced relentless attention from fans, media, and online communities. The pressure was unrelenting, each day bringing new confrontations, revelations, and emotional turbulence that left everyone involved both exhausted and on edge. And yet, despite the chaos, Mendeecees clung to a sliver of hope that clarity, truth, and accountability could bring some resolution. As he navigated confrontations, media frenzy, and familial tension, the emotional weight was immense, but the pursuit of honesty remained paramount. Each interaction, every revelation, and every confrontation pushed the story forward, keeping fans engaged, family members vigilant, and the drama unfolding in ways that no one could have predicted. The saga of deception, exposure, and emotional upheaval continued unabated, with each day promising more twists, revelations, and high-stakes drama that would captivate the audience and test the limits of trust, loyalty, and love. The intensity of the drama showed no signs of slowing. The days that followed were a relentless cycle of confrontation, revelation, and emotional turbulence. Mendeecees found himself constantly pulled in multiple directions, balancing the need for truth with the emotional ties that bound him to Yandy. The family's home, once a place of calm and security, had become a battleground. Voices were raised daily, tears were shed, and every interaction seemed loaded with accusation and tension. Cousins, aunts, uncles, and friends weighed in, each contributing to the escalating conflict, and the sheer volume of conflicting information made it difficult for anyone to find clarity. Every discussion, every argument, every revelation felt like stepping into a storm without any shelter. Fans continued to dissect the story online, creating theories and speculating about motives. Every social media post from Yandy was analyzed, every smile and pause interpreted as evidence. The narrative of a double life had captured the public imagination, and reality TV forums were flooded with commentary. How could she do this? What was Mendeecees thinking? Who else knew? These questions circulated endlessly. The public obsession added pressure to an already volatile situation. Even castmates from Love and Hip Hop offered cryptic statements on social media, further fueling the frenzy. The entire saga had transcended the private sphere, becoming a spectacle that blurred the lines between reality, performance, and raw human emotion. One morning, Tisha called an urgent family meeting. The air was thick with tension as everyone gathered. "We can't ignore this any longer," she said firmly. "We need every detail, every truth, no matter how uncomfortable." Mendeecees nodded silently, the weight of responsibility heavy on his shoulders. Yandy's expression was a mixture of anxiety and defiance, knowing that the confrontation was inevitable. Questions were asked, answers were demanded, and every attempt at clarification seemed to expose more inconsistencies. The emotional intensity of the meeting was overwhelming, leaving no room for denial or evasion. Voices rose, tears fell, and the fragile balance of familial relationships teetered on the edge. Amid this chaos, another revelation emerged. An old associate of Yandy's shared documents and messages suggesting that her double life extended beyond personal matters into professional dealings. Contracts, financial records, and private emails indicated manipulation and concealment. The family was stunned, realizing that the scope of deception was broader than they had imagined. Mendeecees' father expressed outrage, demanding accountability and transparency. The room was filled with a mix of anger, disbelief, and sorrow. Fans online watched in rapt attention, the narrative unfolding like a reality TV drama that was too shocking to ignore. Hashtags trended, clips went viral, and commentary intensified as each piece of evidence surfaced. Mendeecees grappled with a whirlwind of emotions. Anger, betrayal, confusion, and sadness collided within him. He spent long hours reviewing messages, replaying videos, and reflecting on past events. Every memory was now reframed, every gesture reconsidered. He struggled to reconcile the woman he loved with the image that the evidence portrayed. Yet, amidst the heartbreak, there remained a need to understand fully, to confront the reality of what had transpired. His determination to uncover the complete truth became a driving force. Even as the emotional toll grew heavier with each passing day, confrontations with Yandy became increasingly charged. Tisha pressed relentlessly, questioning inconsistencies and demanding explanations. "How long were you planning to hide this?" she asked one evening, voice trembling with anger and frustration. Yandy's responses were defensive, hesitant, and occasionally tearful, but the family was resolute. Every piece of evidence presented reinforced the narrative of deception, and the room's atmosphere was tense with unresolved emotions. Mendeecees attempted to mediate, but the weight of betrayal and the demand for answers made it nearly impossible to maintain calm. The family's unity was under constant strain, tested by the relentless uncovering of secrets and the intensity of emotional responses. Social media amplified every moment. Clips of confrontations, screenshots, and leaked messages circulated rapidly. Fans debated endlessly, some expressing support for Yandy, others condemning her actions. The public scrutiny added pressure, making private discussions feel even more critical. Every word spoken, every reaction captured on video, was analyzed for hidden meaning. Reality TV commentators speculated on motives, alliances, and the potential fallout. The drama had grown beyond the household, engaging a national audience that was captivated by the story of betrayal, exposure, and emotional upheaval. The weeks that followed were marked by continued revelations. Another video surfaced, showing a private conversation where Yandy discussed strategies for maintaining appearances while concealing personal truths. The evidence was undeniable, and the family's shock deepened. Mendeecees confronted her, demanding full transparency. "I need to know everything," he said, his voice steady but heavy with emotion. Yandy hesitated, then began to speak, each word adding intensity to the already charged atmosphere. The family listened intently, some nodding, others shaking their heads in disbelief. Emotions ran high, and the tension was palpable, as if the very air in the room was charged with confrontation and revelation. Fans online reacted instantly, dissecting every detail and sharing opinions at a feverish pace. The narrative had evolved from private turmoil to a spectacle that demanded attention. Hashtags, memes, and viral videos kept the story in the public eye, while reality TV bloggers speculated endlessly. The pressure on Mendeecees and his family was relentless, and the emotional stakes continued to rise. Every day brought new confrontations, fresh revelations, and deeper insight into the complexity of Yandy's double life. The drama showed no signs of slowing, and both the family and the audience braced for the next chapter, knowing that more explosive moments were inevitable. Amidst this chaos, Mendeecees found moments of quiet reflection. He thought about his relationship, his family, and the choices that lay ahead. The betrayal had shaken him, but it had also ignited a determination to confront the truth fully. He knew that transparency and accountability were essential, not only for himself but for the family, and for those watching the saga unfold. Every decision, every confrontation, every revelation was part of a journey toward clarity, and he was committed to seeing it through, no matter how painful the path might be. The story was far from over, and the storm of betrayal, exposure, and emotional turmoil continued to rage with intensity, keeping both the family and the fans on edge. So here we are, after days of shocking revelations, explosive confrontations, and a story that has captivated the attention of fans nationwide. The question remains, what happens next? The saga of Mendeecees and Yandy's alleged double life is far from over. And if you've been following along, you know that each moment has been more intense than the last. We've seen betrayal, deception, emotional breakdowns, and family members forced to choose between love and truth. Fans are still in disbelief. Social media is still on fire, and the family is still grappling with the consequences of every hidden secret finally coming to light. The drama has been relentless, and yet, there's so much more to explore. What does Mendeecees do now? Can trust ever be rebuilt? How will the family navigate this storm of lies and half-truths? And most importantly, what will Yandy do in the face of mounting exposure and public scrutiny? Now, here's where you come in. This story isn't just about watching from the sidelines, it's about engaging, speculating, and letting your voice be heard. As viewers, you hold the power to shape the conversation. We want to hear your thoughts, your reactions, your theories. Did Yandy truly deceive the family? Or is there more to her side of the story? Was Mendeecees blindsided, or did he suspect something all along? Every comment, every opinion adds a layer to this unfolding drama, creating a dynamic, real-time experience that makes you part of the story. Fans are shocked, yes, but your insight, your perspective, your engagement. That's what keeps the story alive. That's what fuels the next twists and turns. Don't just watch, participate. Don't just react. We want to know exactly what you think about the betrayals, the confrontations, and the emotional fallout. Here's the thing about stories like this, they don't stay hidden. Secrets have a way of surfacing, and lies have a way of catching up. In the world of reality television, the lines between personal and public life blur, and every move, every statement, every interaction is dissected by fans, critics, and casual viewers alike. Your opinion matters because it's part of a larger conversation. When you comment, you're influencing the narrative. When you like, share, and discuss, you're contributing to a dialogue that stretches beyond the walls of the Frost family home and reaches every corner of the internet. This isn't just entertainment, it's a cultural moment, and you are witnessing history as it unfolds. By engaging, you're saying, I am part of this story. I see every twist, I feel every emotion, I understand the stakes. And that's exactly what reality drama thrives on, the connection between the story and the audience. The way viewers like you shape the meaning of every revelation. So here's how we want you to get involved. First, hit that like button if you've been shocked, confused, or outraged by the events we've covered. Your likes are more than just clicks, they're a statement. They show that you are invested in the story, that you are emotionally engaged, and that you care about the truth behind the drama. Second, subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update. With a story this explosive, there's no way it's over yet. New revelations, confrontations, and emotional moments are coming, and you'll want to be front and center when they happen. By subscribing, you ensure that you're part of the journey, witnessing every twist as it unfolds and being among the first to know when the next bombshell drops. Third, comment below with your thoughts. This is your chance to weigh in, to voice your opinion, to speculate on what happens next. Do you think Mendeecees can forgive Yandy? Do you believe the family will ever reconcile fully? Which revelations shocked you the most, and why? Your comments create a community of fans, a space where reactions, theories, and emotions can be shared openly. The more you engage, the more dynamic the conversation becomes, and the more influence you have on the ongoing narrative. Every comment matters, every perspective adds depth to the story and allows fans from around the world to connect over the shared drama and intrigue. And don't forget to share this video with friends, family, and fellow fans. The more people see it, the more discussion it generates, and the more momentum the story gains. Sharing isn't just spreading the drama, it's creating a network of viewers who are equally invested in understanding every layer of deception, betrayal, and emotional fallout. Your shares amplify the impact of the story, ensuring that the saga of Mendeecees and Yandy reaches as many eyes as possible, and keeps the conversation alive across social media platforms, forums, and fan communities. Every share counts, and every interaction adds to the pulse of the unfolding drama. Now, as you engage, here's what to watch for next. The family is still divided, tensions remain high, and trust is fragile. Every new development could tip the balance. Every conversation could reveal another hidden truth. The public remains captivated, ready to dissect every new piece of evidence, every screenshot, every leaked message. The emotional stakes are enormous, and the story is far from over. There are unresolved questions. How deep does Yandy's double life go? What secrets are still hidden from the public eye? Will Mendeecees find a way to reconcile with his family and rebuild trust? The suspense is palpable, and your engagement keeps the story alive, pushing the narrative forward in real time. It's also important to reflect on the emotional impact. This isn't just reality TV drama, it's a window into the complexity of human relationships, trust, and betrayal. Fans around the world are feeling the intensity, empathizing with the heartbreak, and grappling with their own judgments about right and wrong. By participating through likes, comments, and shares, you're not just consuming content, you're engaging with the emotional depth of the story, exploring questions of loyalty, honesty, and accountability. Every reaction, every opinion, every discussion contributes to a richer understanding of the events and adds a layer of meaning that goes beyond simple entertainment. So here's the final call to action. Get involved, stay engaged, and make your voice heard. Like this video to show your reaction, subscribe so you never miss an update, comment to share your thoughts and theories, and share with others to amplify the drama. The story of Mendeecees and Yandy is still unfolding, and the next chapters promise even more twists, more confrontations, and more shocking revelations. Fans are shocked, the family is divided, and the drama continues to escalate, but by participating, you're part of the journey, part of the conversation, and part of the excitement. Your engagement matters, your opinion matters, and your voice shapes the narrative. Remember, every like, comment, and share isn't just interaction, it's influence. You're shaping how this story is perceived, how the drama is discussed, and how the next revelations are interpreted. This is your chance to be part of a national conversation, to connect with fans, to debate, analyze, and speculate. The saga is ongoing, the stakes are high, and the drama is far from over. Don't just watch, engage. Don't just react, participate. The story of betrayal, exposure, and emotional upheaval needs you to keep it alive. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and join the conversation that everyone is talking about. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and get ready for the next chapter, because in this story, the only thing constant is the drama and the fans who refuse to let it go. Your opinion could shape the next revelation, your speculation could predict the next twist, and your engagement could fuel the next emotional showdown. This is your moment to be part of the story, to witness history in the making, and to ensure that every twist, every betrayal, every emotional confrontation is seen, analyzed, and discussed by the world. So take action now. Like this video, subscribe to stay updated, comment with your thoughts, and share with everyone who needs to see the drama unfold. The saga of Mendeecees and Yandy isn't just entertainment, it's a story of trust, deception, and raw human emotion that has captured the attention of fans everywhere. Fans are shocked, the family is divided, the narrative is explosive, and you have a role to play in this unfolding drama. Engage, discuss, and make your voice heard. Because in the world of reality TV, the audience is as important as the drama itself. And remember, the story doesn't stop here. With every new revelation, every leaked message, every confrontation, the drama intensifies. Stay close, stay involved, and continue to be part of the conversation. The next chapter could bring even more shocking twists, more family confrontations, and revelations that will leave fans worldwide stunned. By liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing, you are part of the heartbeat of this story, ensuring that no secret goes unnoticed and no betrayal goes unexamined. The saga is far from over, and your engagement is what keeps it alive, what fuels the narrative, and what ensures that the drama continues to captivate and shock audiences everywhere. This is your chance to witness history, to weigh in, and to be part of something bigger than just a video. The drama of Mendeecees and Yandy's double life is unfolding in real time, and your involvement matters. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Don't miss a moment of the betrayal, the confrontations, the shocking revelations, and the emotional intensity that keeps fans worldwide on edge. The story is far from over, the family is still divided, and the drama continues. Engage now, because the next twist could happen at any moment, and you'll want to be front and center when it does. Fans, don't just watch, participate. Don't just react, don't just observe, engage. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. The saga is live, it's raw, it's dramatic, and it's waiting for your voice to join the conversation. The story of betrayal, lies, and family upheaval continues, and the world is watching. Will trust ever be rebuilt? Will secrets continue to surface? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, your engagement makes the drama unstoppable, and your opinion shapes every twist and turn. So take your place in the story. Hit like to react, subscribe to stay updated, comment to share your thoughts, and share to spread the drama. Fans are shocked, emotions are running high, and the family is at a breaking point, but with your participation, you become part of this unforgettable saga. The next chapter is coming, and you'll want to be there to witness every explosive moment, every revelation, and every confrontation. The drama is real, the stakes are high, and the story is far from over. engage, react, and be part of the conversation that fans everywhere can't stop talking about.